Well, good evening, family, friends, anybody who's subscribed to my YouTube channel. Last time I looked, I had 16 subscribers. That's only, let's see, 984 from having 1,000, and that's when things become more interesting. So got a long ways to go, and I don't know how to build my popularity. You know, I don't see how you folks can just resist this face of mine. Anyways, I'm sitting out here on my front porch. Got my good stereo in the house cranking up. I got some speakers that I inherited from an uncle, 20 years ago maybe, from their estate. But these speakers were made in 1973. And I can't think of the name of them right now, but they're super heavy to carry. And they're speakers, you sit on the floor. And they sound better than anything new. Even these nice new Bose surround sound speakers, man, I'll tell you, that thing puts out the sound for the low stereo. But anyway, so I'm sitting here listening to country music, sitting on my front porch. You can see in the background there, I had to wrap that air conditioner. Man, the cold air was coming through that thing just like it was not even in there. So, trying to keep some warmth in there. Anyways, so I'm down. I only have one beer left, and the weather's halfway decent. I've still got on my hoodie here, my sweater, because it's a little chilly now that the sun went behind the clouds that are rolling in. But I thought I'd just sit here and let you see what you do out here in the little hick town of rural Texas when you got nothing else to do and you got one beer left. So I'm not going to turn the label around because it'd be advertisement for that company, and they're not a sponsor, so I ain't going to give them no publicity. But anyways, here we go. Nice and cold. So this is what you do when you uproot your life, hoping to make an improvement and make things better, and everything takes a total disaster turn for the worst. The bad news is I still got no water because of that stupid line that broke underneath the back porch, and it's a slab, and I haven't been able to get under there to it yet. And it's the main line going in the house, wouldn't you know it? So, anyways, I knew I wasn't going to have gas. I was pretty sure of that just because of how many years the gas line had been under the ground, etc., etc. So, but when I first got here, I had electricity, internet, and water, and I was going to be able to do dishes and still cook and everything. I just have to use electricity instead of gas for heat. And I would have to get an electric water heater, which wouldn't have been no major problem. But when that line busted, when the water line busted, that really did a number for me. So, this is what I do this evening. It's Sunday now, so, what is today? January the 30th, I think? Yeah, I think it's the 30th of January, and it's a Sunday. Tomorrow is 31st, and it's a Monday. I'm going to go to Allsups and put in an application, even though the store here in rural is not hiring. Those bridges from 10 years ago weren't completely burned. I still can get hired there possibly, and the store here in rural is fully staffed, but maybe I can get hired and get trained and then fill in at other places around the region. Anyways, but for now, this is what I'm doing when everything you planned on becomes a complete train wreck. Zero. Just everything is just everything is just in the effing toilet, that's all I can say. So, I ain't gonna sit around and feel sorry, but I'm gonna drink a beer and I'm gonna relax and laugh it all off, because that's just the way life goes. Sometimes things don't go the way you think they were going to. And personally, since I moved out here, I think someone put a curse on me. maybe my deceased aunt has cursed me, and my deceased grandma. They both lived in this house, in their last years, and it's been difficult even for me. Is I try not to be all mushy and sentimental, but there's a lot of things in there that I don't want to get rid of, but they're not. It's not nothing to you. There's nothing that you would want to keep, and of course the mice. You know, during the years that this house was empty for 12 years, there was a lot of food left in the kitchen. I couldn't believe the amount of food that was in there. Oh my God. So over the years, there was plenty of, there were pastas, those hamburger helper type meals, things like that, all up in the cabinets that they ate on for years. When it finally got, I think before I moved in here, I think there was a couple of cats that stayed under the house. And because there was a big opening under the house, which I covered up, but I think they were helping themselves to the mice, because I have not seen one live mouse in the months that I've been here. So even now it's wintertime, they usually try to come in. Not a trace. Now there's traces of, in the past, of course, where they left their little droplets and pee and whatnot. So it's almost been a hazard to clean some of the places in this house. And I'm not knocking it. It's paid for, you know. There's not a mortgage here. My cousins aren't ranting about any kind of rent or anything. But I'm beginning to think I got a curse from my granny and my aunt for going through their things. Because every time I've done something, it's turned out to be a effing damn disaster. And the money I got from the government some time ago for losing money during the pandemic from doing, you know, not doing Lyft and this and that and the other, I was able to qualify for some money from the government. It wasn't enough to make me rich, but that money went fast. And I, believe it or not, folks, I didn't gamble that money. I'm going to be honest here. I took about $600, I think, one time, and gambled with that. But was it a bad decision? Of course. You never win. You never gain traction when you gamble. So if you're a gambler and you're watching this, keep that in the back of your mind. If you ever do go in a casino and you win within the first half hour, a jackpot if so, take your money and get the hell out of there. Because the longer you stay, the odds are higher and higher in their favor that you're going to give it all back. Do not do that. Anyways, I'm not so sure my aunt and my granny would like me drinking beer on that porch either, but I got to relieve a little stress. On a brighter note, things are different since I moved out here. Now, in the camera, you can see how big my belly is, of course, and I'm not going to be bragging or anything, but I have knocked off about 30 pounds. Now, you can't see it as people who look at me from a physical point of view, but believe me, I can feel it, and it's a lot easier. I can even put my damn socks on now. It's still got to kind of hold my breath and tuck it in a little, but things like that make a difference. And it's because, first off, there's not any fast food places out here, so I have to eat whatever I fix, or whatever my cousin fixes for me, Sandra. She's kind of taking care of me in the aspect of some food, and I got lots of food here in the house because I was stocking up for doomsday before I even moved out here. So I have a lot of overstock, if you lack of a better word, in case times are really bad. But without the water and stuff, it's hard to cook anything here because I can't clean up my mess. So I use paper plates and stuff. But that'll change as soon as I can find I need a miniature backhoe. I don't need a full-size big tractor backhoe, because it's not that deep in the ground, and it's frankly not that much digging, but I can't do it with a shovel. It's too much. And if I could find a miniature backhoe that somebody could, I wish I could find somebody who would loan me one or something. Anyways, I could dig that hole back by the corner of the house, big enough and deep enough where I could fit down in there and then scoop it out from underneath that slab the dirt just enough to where I could get, because it's right in the corner. And I could show you, but I don't want to get up. Anyways, if I could find a miniature backhoe, I could dig that out big enough and deep enough so I could climb down in the hole and scoop out away from that slab to where that pipe is. It's only about 5 or 6 inches underneath the slab from the corner, so it's not that far under. It's not like I'm digging a cave and then it's gonna collapse. So, and then I could use the backhoe while it's here to dig up the gas line from where it goes into the house out to the gas meter at the street, because somewhere in between there's a leak and they won't turn on the gas. So, which, you know, for obvious reasons. They don't want the neighborhood to blow up or myself. So, but I have been making progress, cleaning things out one or 2 days at a time. I've already showed you a video out here in front of the house where I cleaned up the sidewalk and the porch and got that stuff all somewhat, well, much better than it was. So, but for now, it sure seems like I've been cursed. There's nothing I've done seems to pan out in my business. The hell with that shit. Too many people turn in lower bids, and I, you know, it doesn't make sense to go from Texas to South Carolina for $300-400. That just barely pays for the fuel there and then coming back. And I can't always find something, a return trip with an animal to come back. So if I had a van, my biggest mistake was a couple of years ago trading my van, I guess, or letting it go and getting this four-wheel drive. Now, the four-wheel drive SUV, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. It's nice, but it's not big enough that I can haul 2, 3, maybe 4 animals at once. I can only really do 1, 2 at the max. And I don't like stacking animals in a vehicle that's not made for it. It's not safe. It wouldn't be comfortable. There's a risk of opening a door and animal, you know, when you transport other people's pets, they're already nervous and stressed out from the move and things like that. So if you have more than one and they're in an environment where you can't contain them, if you open the door, you could lose one. And how do you explain that? You know, that would be terrible, devastating to the family. And anyways, so my business has flopped because 1, I don't stack, which means I would take several animals at once. 2, I've found out and have done some more research. There's several people out there who, just like me, trying to start their own business, and they're retired, you know. Fuck, they got their retirement from whatever their career was. Some of them have that plus Social Security and whatever investments they might have made. Quite honestly, they don't need to make profits, so they turn in bids from Texas to South Carolina for $300. Come on. That barely is fuel, you know, one way. So with the price of fuel fluctuating up and down like it does from day to day, week to week, or what have you, I got a lot of bids that were way lower than mine. And, you know, if you're a customer out there, you're going to go with a lower bid if you can and you think it's safe. And those ex-military guys or retired people that were in other careers who are doing it now, you know, so be it. Let them have their fun. But it knocked me out of business. That's for sure. So they do a legitimate business. It's not like they're running some illegal scam on these people. They just are able to do it at a luxury instead of as a single source of income. Hence, that's why I'm going to get a job, I guess, at Allsup's. It won't take a lot of gas unless I have to go to another city or something, but that'll be a regular check coming in until I can maybe figure out another way to run my business. And eventually, right now being self-employed, it's hard to prove to banks to get a car loan or anything unless you got lots of bank statements showing lots of deposits, and unfortunately I don't have that currently. So if I get a good steady check coming in where I can qualify for a loan, what I'll do is trade this SUV for a good size work van. Maybe one of those, it's a Mercedes. Oh, you say Mercedes, that's a lot of money. Well, it is, but a Mercedes Sprinter van is one of the absolute best on the market. And then you can build them out, put things in there that you need for your job or what have you. And I can fix it to where I can haul freight or animals. There's a high need for independent contractors who have a Sprinter van or a box truck, like a U-Haul truck, that you don't have to have a CDL for. CDLs are required if you have 2 axles and over 26 feet, I believe, when it comes to like a big moving van. Single axles, less than 20 feet, there's no CDL, I think, required. I'm not sure of the feet, but single axle bobtail trucks don't normally need a CDL. So anyways, that's another thought, but I got all kinds of ideas going through my head, but at the same time, I'm bankrupt. I ain't got shit left. So the reason I have one beer left is because this came from a 6-pack I bought probably about a year ago. That's how much I drink, how often. So this is just an updated video. Let you see what I do out here in the small town of Rule. Not a lot of people here. I think there's about 600 people population-wise, officially. Unofficially, there could be 700 or so. The cotton stripping season is pretty much over now, and I noticed the other day that they finally got all the cotton ginned over to cotton gin, so it's not running it was running 24/7. There was a lot of people working there for a while. So there's things to do out here. Cotton gin for me, no, I don't know anything about that kind of job. I didn't even think about that, but my thing is driving, so my plan is I'm not dead in the water yet, and there ain't no fucking suicide in the future, so don't worry about that. I may make a comment or two every once in a while. Sometimes I wonder how come I wake up every day, but until I don't, then I don't, So, lots of traffic going by. This is like one of the main streets through the side of town. Lots of people use it because it pretty much intersects every street out here. Let's see, let me turn this thing around and I'll show you the neighborhood.
Did you know you can get up to $3,500 within minutes of filing your taxes?
Give me an idea what the neighborhood looks like.
This is Christy Montoya with your local family-owned H&R Block offices. Apply for your refund advance loan beginning January 4th until February 28th in your local H&R.
So you guys can kind of see, I'm on a corner lot here. Now the backside of the house has a second lot with it. And that second lot is one reason I really like living out here, because if I ever do get a chance, I can build on it, a double garage, workshop type thing someday. You never know. I don't plan on leaving because things are tough. But I really need that water fixed. If there's anybody watches this, besides none of my friends and family that I know are super wealthy, so I don't expect any money from any of them. But if a stranger happens to watch this, I'm in rural Texas, I need a miniature backhoe. If you know of anybody, anywhere, that could let me borrow one or come out and dig the trench for me as a act of kindness and charity. I'll take it. I sure ain't gonna turn it down. I got pride, but not so much that I wouldn't accept somebody helping me fix that. If I can get to the pipe, I can fix the pipe. I know how to do that kind of stuff. Well, it is connected, I think, to the main line that feeds from the street. So that bothers me a little if I can't find a joint or put it together where it's leaking. these are galvanized pipes in this house. So there's my automatic porch light coming on. Put that out here so it would come on and off by itself day and night in order to, so when I'm not here, so it keeps the house occupied. Now, just because I said that don't mean when it's on, I ain't, that I ain't here. So just keep that in mind. I might be inside hiding, away from the general public. I don't know if y'all can hear the music playing inside, but if you can in the background, that's the extent of my life out here currently. My business is belly flop. I'm bankrupt. I'm still laughing and smiling. And if you haven't seen a picture of me recently, my hair was pretty long. You can see I went to the cosmetology college in Abilene yesterday. Which Abilene, by the way, from where I'm at, is 60 miles. It's an hour drive. So that's another reason I'm losing weight, because McDonald's is 60 miles away. So, no offense, McDonald's, but Jack in the Box, KFC, Chick-fil-A's, all those fast food places. Now, that being said, Haskell is only 10 miles away. That's the county seat for out here. And there is a Sonic there, so, if I really get desperate and want a big old Route 44 shake, I know where to get it. But anyways, it's when you eat your own food, even when you're not trying to, you generally eat more healthy just because it is at home and you know what's in it and what seasoning you use and things like that. So whether you can tell I've lost any weight or not, I don't care. But I can see it, I can feel it. So the last week has been a little rough. Like I said, when everything starts piling up on me, I have a tendency to eat a little more than I have been, but I'm not going to gain it back. I've got to keep losing it, as a matter of fact. So right now I'm around 335, and I was 360 something, almost 370. There was a point I was at 380, so now that was quite some time ago, so that doesn't count. But I started noticing when I was down around 360, and then when I got one morning, I was just putting on a pair of pants that was usually almost impossible to get on, and they were loose, and I was putting my socks on, and I went, damn, I didn't have to struggle real hard to get my socks on. So I started kind of watching my weight, and I noticed I was in around 330, 335, so it's an improvement health-wise. And if I can keep that trend going, it's only going to be better. So working on the house, believe it or not, has also been a contributing factor to that. When I'm out here cleaning up leaves and brush and debris and emptying stuff out of the house, walking and exercising and carrying stuff, that is exercise, so naturally that helps. So not much else for me to gossip about. I don't know if anybody will even see this, so I haven't had a video on in a long time. My YouTube channel is pretty much non-existent. I haven't been on any adventures, so it's just been sitting in the country and tonight drinking a beer. Well, sitting in the city, but a small city country town. This helps me relax a little. So, since I only have one, it's not like I want to sit here and get drunk and then get all emotional and depressed because I'm intoxicated. So, now, if I had some tequila, it'd be about an hour and I'd be going down the street streaking. I'm not even sure I'd get caught out here. We don't have a sheriff in town here, or a local officer anyways. It's up to DPS and county sheriff and game wardens even. coming through town to keep an eye on us small town folks. I guess only time will tell how things go out here. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on, I guess, until I get this stuff fixed. Just the water and even the gas. It's actually going back a little bit here. It's really hard to heat this house. I have 2 heaters, and I keep the doors closed in the kitchen, so I close it off. And I keep the heat in the kitchen because I got water and stuff in there, and I don't want it to freeze. And believe me, when it's 20 degrees outside, it's cold in this house. It would freeze if there wasn't any heat in the kitchen. So the rest of the house, I have the doors closed and kind of heat. If I'm going to be in a room, I'll heat it, but most part, I stay over at my cousin Sandra's house, which is just a block over. So that's where I'm able to take a shower and clean up. And like I said, she's always cooking something over there, whether I'm around or not. So I'm not starving to death either, just because I'm losing weight. It's because I'm going hungry. It's just because I'm eating more healthy, and I'm eating a lot less. My stomach feels like it's full all the time, so I don't feel the desire to just eat constantly around the clock like I used to. When I was at working in Irving, it wasn't a bad job, but I just wasn't happy. And I was eating when I was at home, I was eating when I was at work, I was eating constantly all the time to keep my frustration down, so to speak. So, and even then I'd still blow up once in a while, but temper-wise, I mean, I haven't had any real temper tantrums out here. Simply because I haven't had the aggravation, really. So it's been a little tense with me and my cousin sometimes because this is her mother's house, my aunt, and my aunt's house. And she's a pretty strong hoarder. And so getting rid of things with my cousin is extremely difficult. So we had a lot of tension at first, and she always gets emotional when she comes over here because this was her mother's house, and the things that are here are all memories, of course. But like I said a long time ago, everything that's valuable has been stripped out of here. The house was completely trashed, literally trashed. I mean, people just poured stuff out of the closets, out of all the dresser drawers and everything onto the floors. It's been a hell of a mess, and the rodents and what other critters could have got in here way back there. The 12 years that it's been empty, shredded things, made nests in there. Like I said, it's kind of a hazard. I wear a mask a lot of times when I'm in there cleaning, and I always sterilize my hands afterwards and stuff from the mouse droppings and things. And I had to buy a huge wet dry vac, shop vac, which was definitely an investment. So they had it's normally $120. I got it for $60. It was 50% off. No, there was a discount plus 30 or 40% off at the time at a special at Ace Hardware in Haskell. So I bought it, and man, I'll tell you, I couldn't have cleaned anything without that. It's been a lifesaver, literally, trying to clean up the places that I have got cleaned in there. I showed a video a while back of some of the stuff that left. And, I've made a lot of progress. So. But my cousin doesn't come over much anymore because when she sees things that I've decided to get rid of, she gets all emotional, and it's very difficult for her. So, but really, the things that I'm throwing away are too messed up from the rodents that were here. It wouldn't even be safe to clean some of it, seriously. So a lot of the things I throw away are not useful. You couldn't use them again anyways because of the condition that they're in. The clothes, there are clothes that were left here that were, honestly, could I donate them somewhere, but they're all filthy. And you got to remember, the house has been empty for 12 years, almost 13, so this is West Texas. We have storms out here that are nothing but sand and dust, so you got to remember, everything in this house has had a coating of years of dirt on it. So again, to try to clean that stuff and put it somewhere, I wouldn't donate it in the current condition it's in. Hell no. So, and I don't have the money and the finances or the time even really to go and take it to a laundromat and wash all that stuff. So a lot of it's being tossed. Pictures now, family pictures, there's hundreds of pictures in this house, all in different places. We've got a German Shepherd running loose out here in the street. That's the one that's growled at me and tried to come at me one night. I'm a very pet-friendly person, but if this dog comes at me, it will end up gutted like a fish. I don't have my shotgun with me at the current moment. It's stashed away, but he went on about his business. But that is the same German Shepherd that a couple of times at night when I was over at my cousin's, it growled and came at me aggressively, and I just turned and looked at him and said, well, if you want to fight, boy, come on. And he went on about his business. Maybe he's not too mean. Maybe he's just establishing that he thinks he's the boss. German Shepherds are good dogs, by the way. I would not want to hurt that dog unless it was just, I know what I said, but I would not honestly hurt that dog unless I had no choice. Plain and simple. I would not do damage or harm to an animal unless I had no choice. So, now there's some people I might not have to think twice about before putting them upside the head. But anyways, well, it's been 32 minutes, almost 33. So I guess I'm going to end this video, and for those of you who look at my YouTube channel, at least give me a thumbs up on it. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps the algorithm in the YouTube website itself, you know, showing that I got a thumbs up, that my video was liked, and you can subscribe to it, and then every time if you turn on your notifications, I think you click on the little bell emblem or whatever for notifications. When I do make a video, it'll just send you a message that I've added another video. So, like I said, I have 16 subscribers, so it's not like I'm wildly popular. Matter of fact, that 16 went down to 15 for a while, and then suddenly it went back to 16, so who knows. It doesn't tell me who subscribes. I don't have that level of likes with YouTube yet, so I think the more popular channels out there, they get names of who subscribed and everything, but with 16 subscribers, no, I don't have that information. So anyways, just do me that favor, hit the subscribe button and at least give me a thumbs up, so it gives me some ratings with YouTube, and maybe someday I'll probably be long gone and dead. Somebody will watch this video or a video and it'll go viral for some reason, but it won't do me no good. I'll be gone. Maybe it'll be found 100 years from now. Somebody will be curious and say, who is that old fat man? Let's see what he's got to say. Alright, folks. Like I said, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you again when I do another video. Bye for now.